The first Imperial ship ever seen in a Star Wars movie, A New Hope, was of course the wedge-shaped Imperial-class Star Destroyer, the Devastator. In the famous scene, it easily captured the rebel corvette Tantive 4 for inspection and interrogation to locate the missing Death Star plans. In the Legends timeline of Star Wars, the Devastator was Darth Vader's flagship in the lead-up to the Battle of Yavin, and was used as part of the Imperial Navy fleet providing security to keep order to the galaxy. But what happened to the Devastator? Before and after it was last seen in The New Hope, approaching the first Death Star transporting the captured Princess Leia to the battle station for interrogation. 7 years prior to the Battle of Yavin, the Devastator was commanded by Captain Bolvin as part of Darth Vader's personal fleet of Star Destroyers, a secret biological weapons research laboratory on the mid-rim planet of Phelan, when an Imperial-produced bacterial plague began to spread out of control. Despite the captain's preference for a ground assault, Vader ordered the Devastator to bombard the surface of Phelan with turbolaser fire. Moving along the Star Wars timeline in 0 BBY, and less than 3 weeks prior to the Devastator's pursuit of Tantive 4, the Star Destroyer was acting as Lord Tion's flagship in his campaign against rebel outposts, and in particular Tion commanded the subjugation of Raltir. Lord Tion was a close ally of Wilhoth Tarkin, and was well informed on matters related to the Death Star project, and travelled to Alderaan to join her and a guest at a casual dinner, but unfortunately for Tion, his affections for Leia ensured he revealed important information relating to the Death Star project. Tion later realised Leia's true allegiance and was killed before he could alert Imperial authorities. Meanwhile, Tion's information secured receipt of the plans for Leia, when she later received the superweapons plans from a rebel group using an Imperial-controlled relay station to transmit the plans aboard the Princess Leia's CR-90 corvette, Tantive 4. With Lord Tion now dead, Lord Vader immediately seized command of the Devastator to pursue the rebels aboard Tantive 4, who Vader believed had stolen the first Death Star's technical plans. Shortly before the Battle of Tatooine, an Imperial known as Captain Torn unsuccessfully attempted to assassinate Darth Vader and take control of the Devastator during a visit by the bounty hunter Boba Fett. Shortly afterwards, the Devastator caught up with Tantive 4 and captured with success the rebel vessel above Tatooine. Vader ordered a TIE boarding shuttle carrying stormtroopers of the 501st Legion to board Tantive 4, as famously seen in A New Hope. Later, the crew of the Devastator attached a portable access way to the corvette. The Devastator also targeted and destroyed any escape pods that were launched in order to ensure none of the rebels escaped. The sole exception was R2-D2 and C-3PO's escape pod, which even then was only because they didn't detect any life forms in the pod and dismissed it as a malfunction. While the Imperial ground troops were searching for the missing plans on the surface of Tatooine, the Rebel Alliance's Blue Squadron launched an attack on the Devastator from Anchorhead. Although the Devastator took damage to its emplacement cannons, shield generators and its bridge section, the Star Destroyer eventually travelled to the first Death Star, with the Princess in the Imperial custody. The Devastator's specifications as an Imperial 1 class Star Destroyer were standard for its class, including its armaments, complement and technical specifications. However, several times during its service it received some structural and upgrade modifications like other SDs of its time. These included its communication tower, tractor-beam targeting array, and the separation of its ventral docking bays to create more space for its munitions. Following the Battle of Yavin in 0 BBY and the destruction of the first Death Star, Palpatine ordered Darth Vader to hunt down the rebels responsible for the space station's destruction. 2 months after the Battle of Yavin, the Devastator was involved in a battle with the rebels, known as the Ambush of Grey Flight, in which the outcome meant a retreat for both rebel and Imperial forces. Around a similar point in time, the Imperial 1 class SD was infiltrated by the rebels, Wedge Antilles, Luke Skywalker and a Force sensitive known as Parathi, who mistakenly revealed the location of the Alliance fleet to the Empire. Shortly afterwards, the Empire launched an all-out attack on the rebel fleet, with the Devastator as its command vessel, but a fierce battle later resulted in both rebel and Imperial retreats. Several months later, on the core world of Korrilag, an Imperial noble turned Alliance sympathizer, Revoked Tarkin, the niece of Wilhoth Tarkin, was exposed by Imperial intelligence, having intercepted data files revealing damning evidence of her betrayal to the Empire. Vader ordered the new head of Imperial Security Bureau, Selene, to capture the rebel operative alive. Alliance intelligence also became aware, and General Kraken swiftly arranged for Revoked Tarkin's extraction. The ISB leader Selene led a minor skirmish using the Devastator against rebel forces, but Kraken managed successfully to extract Revo Tarkin. 8 months after the Battle of Yavin inside the Outer Rim territories, the alien warlord called Nuso Esvar had taken his forces into the Poln system, which belonged to Imperial space. Lord Vader's Death Squadron, including the Devastator, dealt a decisive and victorious blow to the warlord, pushing Esvar's forces back to the unknown regions. A year and a half after the Battle of Yavin, the Devastator again served as part of the Imperial blockade at the Mid-Rim world of Kashyyyk and declared martial law due to suspecting rebel activity. However, the Imperials were unable to locate their rebel targets after a clever deception which left them chasing a lost cause. This defeat also aligned to Emperor Palpatine's decision to order the construction of a second Death Star. During a similar period, but prior to the Battle of Hoth, the Devastator was part of a trio of Star Destroyers ordered to bombard and destroy a Rebel Alliance base inside the Core Worlds region. The Empire successfully destroyed the base, however the Rebel General Riken managed to order its successful evacuation. In 3 ABY at the Battle of Hoth, and again the Devastator was part of the Death Squadron, along with the rest of Vader's fleet, to reinforce the blockade of the Iced Planet. It was the Empire's first major victory following the loss of the first Death Star at Yavin. At the Battle of Endor in 4 ABY, the Devastator was still serving as part of Darth Vader's Death Squadron and was present. However, its long service to the Empire was brought to an end when a swarm of Rebel A-Wing and B-Wing fighters attacked and destroyed the famous Imperial Star Destroyer. There is no doubt that the Devastator was an important part of the Imperial Navy and the Empire's fight against the rebellion. The Imperial 1 class SD served as a formidable capital ship with its impressive armaments, advanced systems and vast hangar bays. It excelled at naval engagements and planetary assaults and embodied the Empire's ruthless dominance. Although commissioned into Imperial service around 9 BBY, it remained one of the Imperial Navy's best starships with its modifications and upgrades. Even after the Imperial 2 class SD was introduced in 0 BBY, the Devastator, as the video reveals, was extensively used in crucial skirmishes against the rebellion throughout the Galactic Civil War until its destruction in 4 ABY. The Devastator will always be affectionately remembered as the huge wedge-shaped starship chasing the small rebel corvette to recover the Death Star plans, and although Darth Vader went on to abandon the Devastator as his flagship for the Executive-class dreadnought, the Star Destroyer remained part of his personal fleet, the Death Squadron. As part of Vader's Death Squadron fleet, the Devastator served alongside notable Star Destroyers such as the Tyrant, the Pride of Talandir, the Stormhawk, the Avenger, and the Relentless. Although some Star Destroyers during this period were reassigned within the Imperial Navy, the Devastator remained a constant, and maybe due to the fact it was Vader's former flagship. For more Imperial Explained videos, please give a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and as always, long live the Empire!